Hey guys, new place, new lighting. I don't know how to fix the glasses thing, but we're just gonna go with it because it is what it is. When you wear glasses, you get a glare, so forgive me for that. Today I'm excited. I'm here today because I want to give out a challenge. It's mainly for me, but I figure there's some other people that may want to join in. I joined Goodreads a year ago, right at January 1st. I did not know what Goodreads was until one of my good friends did her year in books and posted it on Facebook, and I was like, what is this thing that you're posting? Because I love it. And she told me about Goodreads. I joined, and soon I had a lot of things on my want to read shelf. Okay, so if you're like me, I wonder how many books you have on that shelf. If you're close to being like me, you probably have around maybe anywhere from 1,500 to 2,000 books on your want to read list. You may not be like me, but that's how many I have. And what I have realized is that I put those books on my list and then I completely forget about them until I go back and look later on, and then I'm like, oh, that's a good book. I want to read that. And then I forget about it, and that's where we are. So I wanted to do a challenge for myself this year, and I thought it would be fun to let other people join in. It's going to be a Goodreads alphabet reading challenge. So I have set up 3 levels to this because the way I did it is crazy, and I don't know if everybody wants to do it like that, so I made a couple of easier levels, and then if you want to be crazy like me and spend lots of time doing research and adding even more books to your want to read shelf, then you can be like me and get on my level with it. Okay, so first things first, I have my notes here because I ramble. I ramble too much. Okay. So for the 2022 Goodreads Alphabet Reading Challenge, there are going to be 3 levels. The first level is the bookworm. This is for the novice reader, okay? Somebody who's not super ambitious about their reading list, but still wants to get some to be read things off of their list. So here's the rules if you want to be a bookworm. Okay, so the way I did this is I made a list of, I'll tell you in a minute how many for each letter, and I'm going to randomly pick them. I have a spinning wheel with the amount of books that I have on my list. I'm going to randomly pick them. I'm going to let you watch. But on these different levels, I have different amounts because I'm a crazy person and you might not be as crazy as me. So if you're a bookworm, you get to pick from 10 different books per letter. So you're going to go through your Goodreads. You're going to put it in alphabetical order, which is awesome that it has that option. And you're going to pick 10 A books and then randomly pick from those. And you'll pick 1 book per letter. And articles, that is A, an, and the, are allowed. So if you want, let me think of a title that has A, an, or the. Okay, so if you wanted to pick a book that had an article in it. An example would be, okay, I'm just gonna go with the first one. I have mine in backwards alphabetical order because I was working on the last part of the alphabet and I stopped. I didn't want to scroll forever to get to it. So the first one I have that has an article in it is called The Zodiac Legacy. So it would be in the Z's because the is an article and it does not count as an alphabetical word. Okay, pretty sure my camera's crooked. So, again, I shouldn't be repeating myself, but I'm going to. As a bookworm, you're going to pick one book per letter. You can use articles A, an, and the, and you'll have 10 books to randomly pick your book from. Okay, so if you want to be on level 2, that would be the book nerd. This is for somebody who's a little more ambitious and wants to do some research and possibly adding books to your to be read or want to read shelf, because letters like Q, K, I don't know why K is hard, but it is, Z, X, all of those are harder to find. So you may have to do some research, but believe me, it's fun. So if you were a book nerd, you will have to do, all the rules are the same except for instead of 10 books, you're going to pick from 21 books. So you'll have a list of 21 books, and then you can pick one book per letter, and articles are allowed. Now, if you want to be like me, the crazy person who chose to do this even before I decided to do BookTube, and I've been working on these lists for like a month now, trying to find what I want on my list. You can be a book dragon like myself. And what I decided to do, really, it wasn't all that organized. I just went to A, and then I picked how many books I had on my A list, and there were 21. And from there, I just did 21 books for every other letter, which meant that I had to add books onto my TBR because I did not have 21 books for every letter. But it was lots of fun, and I found lots of cool books that I didn't know existed. So I'm hoping that you might want to join me too. But I made it harder on myself because I did not allow myself to use articles. So I did not use A, an, or the. Every single one of the books on my list, the first word starts with the letter that I'm going for, and no A, an, and the. So it took me a long time, but it was fun. So I'm gonna split this video probably into 2 parts because I can imagine it getting pretty long. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tell you each title of the book, and then I will have the genre and the author posted when I edit. So I'll put it up here. I'll have the book, cover, genre, author. That way, if you see something that you like and you want to look it up, you can do that. But all I'm going to do is read those out, and then I will show you my spinning wheel and show you the one that I ended up having to read, and I will actually tell you a little bit about that book that is picked. I'm going to put this as a side note. If there's any books on here that you have read that you know for a fact, based on things I've said about myself, that I will not like, please let me know. It's really hard to find any type of like warnings about what's in a book ahead of time. So I tried to do as much research as I could, but I might have missed some that would have something in it that I wouldn't really like. So if you know for a fact, there's one on here that has excessive cussing or sexual themes or is extremely scary, let me know so that I can take it off my list. So I have my handy dandy notebook here with lots of stuff written in it because I'm a nerd. And let's start with the letter A. So I have 21 books. Letter A. Number 1 is Adventuring Together. Number 2 is Aftermath. Number 3 is Agatha Christie, an autobiography. Number 4 is All Creatures Great and Small. Number 5 is All Systems Red. Number 6 is All the Light We Cannot See. Number 7 is All 13. Number 8, All of a Kind Family. Number 9, Alone. Number 10, Altered Carbon. Number 11, American Royals. 12 is Among the Hidden. Number 13 is Angela's Ashes. Number 14 is Animal Farm. 15 is Animal Strike Curious Poses. 16 is Anne of Green Gables. Number 17 is Annie's Life in Lists. Number 18 is Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. Number 19 is As Bright as Heaven. Number 20, At the Back of the North Wind. And number 21 is Autumn. Okay, so 21 books. I wish I could go into all of them because I'm really excited about all of them, but I'm not going to. I'm going to have self-control, and I'm just going to randomly pick from those 21 books which one I get. All right, so here we go. I'm excited. Okay, number 5. Y'all, I have been planning this forever, so I'm super excited that I'm finally picking my books. Okay, so number 5 is, I'm excited, All Systems Red. So All Systems Red is about a robot who is meant to be a murder bot, but he really just wants to be left alone to figure out who he is, and that's pretty much all I know. I know it is sci-fi, robots, other planets, all that kind of stuff. The average rating is 4-star, so I'm hoping it'll be pretty good. I have no idea, but I'll try it and we'll see. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the letter B. Okay, on this video, I'm going to do A through M, and then I'm going to do part 2, N through Z, on a different video. That way this doesn't turn into like, I don't even know, 3-hour video. I don't know. Okay, so here are the picks for for letter B. All right, number 1, Bats of the Republic. Number 2, Beauty and the Beast, Lost in a Book. Number 3, Before and After. Number 4, Before the Coffee Gets Cold. Number 5, Before We Were Free. Number 6, Before We Were Yours. Number 7, Behind Closed Doors. Number 8, Below Stairs. Number 9, Below the Edge of Darkness. Number 10, Ben-Hur. Number 11, Between Shades of Grey. Number 12, Between Two Kingdoms. Number 13, Black. Number 14, Bloomability. Number 15, Bluebirds. Number 16, Book Girl. Number 17, Book of Days. Number 18, Born Again. Number 19, Brave in the Woods. Number 20, Brave New World. And number 21, Briar Rose. Okay. Let me get this going here. Oh, I screen recorded for like 10 minutes. Oops. I just want to screen record the little thingy. Oh, goodness gracious. So for B, I'm going to reset the wheel. Okay. I'm so excited. Okay, number 3. Number 3 is before and after. And actually, a lot of these I kind of have in my head, but I'm not sure what that one is. So you're going to learn right along with me. Like I said, I did a lot of research on these. So some of them I added to my TBR just for this purpose, which I don't know. Maybe that didn't really achieve the goal that I wanted to, is to get some of those books off of the list, but you know, we're not going to talk about that. Oh, okay. Yeah, now I remember what this is. Okay, so before and after is a nonfiction, let me see. I don't think it's a memoir. I think it's like a biography. Yeah. Nonfiction true crime biography. So in the 1920s to the 1950s, let me find this woman's name. Oh, okay. Georgia Tann ran a black market baby business at the Tennessee Children's Home. And so she ended up kidnapping children and essentially selling them to rich families that didn't know that that's what she was doing. And yeah, I hope this isn't like gonna be excessively long, but if you're anything like me, I know you love things like this. So stick with me, have fun, drink some coffee. We're gonna sit here for a minute. Okay, so C. All right, so number 1 is cartwheeling in thunderstorms. Number 2 is Catherine the Great. Number 3 is celebration of discipline. Number 4 is Celtic Tales. Or is it Celtic? Pretty sure it's Celtic. I've always wondered why we called the Celtics, but we're not going to go there. Anyway, Charlie Hernandez, ... is what I wrote. I know there's more to that title, but you'll see it here. Number 6 is Chasing Redbird. Number 7 is Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Number 8 is Christy. Number 9 is Cinder. Number 10 is City of Masks. Number 11 is City of Shadows. Number 12 is Claudette Colvin. I hope that's right. I wrote it weird. But you'll be able to see right here if I'm wrong. Okay. Number 13 is Click Here to Start. Number 14 is Closer to Nowhere. Number 15 is Codename Helen. It might be Helene. I'm not sure. Number 16 is Columbine. Number 17 is Coraline. Number 18 is Counting One's Blessings. Number 19 is Crenshaw. Number 20 is Crisscross. And number 21 is Circling the Sun. Okay. You guys have no idea. This has been in my brain for so long. I'm super, super excited. Oh, you know what I need to do? I need to write down which ones I got as I go so I don't forget. Okay. Okay. I'm hoping for a high number here. Don't fail me. Okay. 15. Okay. Let's see, what is number 15? Codename Helene or Helen. I don't know how to say that. Okay. So, again, I do not know how to say this name. It has the little marks, and I don't know what they do to the letters. So, probably saying it wrong, but Codename Helene is by Ariel Lawhon, and it's historical fiction, World War II, told in interweaving timelines organized around the 4 code names Nancy used during the war. Codename Helene is a spellbinding and moving story of enduring love, remarkable sacrifice, and unfaltering resolve that chronicles the true exploits of a woman who deserves to be a household name. That's all I'm going to read because I don't want to know anything else. Sounds like she might have been a spy. Sounds like a good book. Okay, on to D. Oh. Do you remember in my last video how I talked about that my children like to spill water on things? I was not very happy. And this is actually the second list I made because the dog tore up the first one. So, just a little bit of a rant there. I love them, but sometimes. Okay. All right, so number 1 on letter D is Daddy Long Legs. Daddy Long Legs. Number 2 is Dairy Queen. Number 3 is, this is in the one that's messed up here. Let me check on Goodreads here. Okay, so thankfully Goodreads has my back. Number 3 is Daughter of Fortune. Number 4 is Daughter of Rome. Number 5 is Daughter of the Moon Goddess. Number 6 is David Copperfield. Number 7 is Deadline. Number 8 is Dear Mrs. Knightley. Number 9 is Dear Mrs. Bird. Number 10 is Death Cloud. Number 11 is Death Comes for the Archbishop. Oh, number 12 is Deanie. Number 13 is Defiant Heart. Number 14 is Desert Solitaire. Number 15 is Desiree. Number 16 is Dewey. Number 17 is Dirk. Wow. Okay. Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency. I kind of hope I get that one just because of the title. Number 18 is Divergent. Number 19 is Dr. Zhivago. I don't know about that one. Number 20 is Davy Coe. And number 21 is Down and Out in Paris and London. Okay. Here we go. Okay. I'm actually impressed that I have remembered to start recording before each one of these. We'll see how long it lasts. Number 5. I already have a number 5. I'm gonna let this thing pick. It doesn't matter if it picked the same number. We're gonna go with it, okay? So number 5 for my D's is Daughter of the Moon Goddess. Ooh. Okay, so a captivating debut fantasy inspired by the legend of, I'm terrible with Chinese. I'm going to say this wrong. Please forgive me. Shang Yi the Chinese moon goddess, in which a young woman's quest to free her mother pits her against the most powerful immortal in the realm. So I really love mythology from every country. China is one of my favorites to read about and learn about, so I'm excited about this. I'm hoping it's going to be really good. Okay, so on to E. Okay, so number 1 is Earth Psalms. Number 2 is East of Eden. Number 3 is Echo Mountain. Number 4 is Echoes Among the Stones. Number 5 is Edge of Eternity. Number 6 is Elantris. Number 7 is Emma. Number 8 is Sco Tort. Number 9 is Eve. Number 10 is Everlasting Nora. Number 11 is Everybody Was So Young. Number 12 is Everything Else in the Universe. Number 13, Everything I Never Told You. Number 14, Ex Libris. Number 15, Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close. Number 16, Eleanor and Park. Number 17, Elemento P. Number 18, Eleanor of Aquinter. It's probably wrong. Number 19 is Enchantress from the Stars. Number 20 is 8 Cousins. And number 21 is Ethel and Ernest. Okay, so I don't know about you, but I find this incredibly fun. Okay, so can't forget to record because you guys want to see what I got. Okay. Number 14. Okay, so number 14 is Ex Libris. I'm really excited. Okay, Ex Libris is a book by names are hard, okay guys? Makehiko Kakatani and Dana Tanamachi. I really hope I didn't butcher that. But anyway, this book is Ex Libris 100 plus books to read and reread. So it is a book about books, which is amazing. And I am so excited that this is the one I got. Okay, moving on. F. Number 1 is Fable. Number 2 is Fahrenheit 451. Number 3 is Farewell to Manzanar. Number 4 is Fox. Number 5 is Fever 1793. Number 6 is 15 Lanes. Number 7 is 50 Words for Rain. Number 8 is Finding Langston. Number 9 is Fireborn. Number 10 is 5 Children and It. Number 11 is Flower Fables. Number 12 is Forever or a Long, Long Time. Number 13 is Formula of Deception. That was number 13. Number 14 is Fragments of Fear. Number 15, From Scratch. Number 16 is From the Mixed Up Files of Mrs. Basil E. Frankweiler. Number 17 is Furthermore. Number 18 is Friday's Child. Number 19 is Fever. Number 20 is Follow the Rabbit-Proof Fence. And number 21 is Fair Stood the Wind in France. Okay, here we go. Number 12. Okay, so number 12 is Forever or a Long, Long Time. Okay, so Forever or a Long, Long Time is by Kayla Carter. This book is middle grade. Yes, middle grade. And it is about foster care. I don't really want to know a whole lot more about it. I've heard good things from different people, especially from Chantel. But I used to be a foster parent. We adopted 3 children from foster care. So I'm excited to read this book and see what it has to say. Okay, moving on. All right, G. Number 1 is Gay Girl, Good God. Number 2 is Get Out of Your Head. Number 3 is Glimpses of Grace. Number 4 is God's Samurai. Number 5 is Gone with the Wind. Number 6 is Gone Away Lake. Number 7 is Graceland at Last. Number 8 is Graceling. Number 9 is Granny Torelli Makes Soup. All right, number 10 is Gone Girl. Number 11 is Go Set a Watchman. Number 12 is Gianna. Number 13 is Girls Gone Wise in a World Gone Wild. Number 14 is Galloway Bay. Number 15 is Gleaming Lass. No. No. Okay. Number 15 is Glimmering Glass. No, it's not even that. Number 15 is Glimmer Glass. Okay. Number 16 is Glow. Number 17 is Gifts of War. Number 18 is Grief is the Thing with Feathers. Number 19 is Good Wood. Number 20 is Goodbye Vietnam. And number 21 is Gathering Blue. Okay. What is going to be my book for letter G? Okay. $16. Okay, so 16 is Glow. Again, some of these I don't remember because I had to add some stuff because I'm a psycho person when it comes to books. But, you know, it is what it is. Okay. Yes. Okay, so Glow is by Amy Kathleen Ryan. And it is the first book in a series called Sky Chasers. It is a young adult science fiction. And let's see, let me read a little bit of the blurb. One of school library journals, no, I don't care about that. Okay, if a violent battle destroyed the only world you've ever known, would you be brave enough to save who was left? Would love be strong enough to survive the fight? Either way, there's no turning back. Sounds good. So H. Number 1 is Half of the Yellow Sun. Number 2 is Hamilton and Peggy. Number 3 is Harry Potter. Number 4 is Hatchet. Number 5 is He Chose the Nails. Number 6 is Hidden Valley Road. Number 7 is Hind's Feet on High Places. Number 8 is His Official Fiancé. Number 9 is Hotel on the Corner of Bitter and Sweet. Number 10 is How I Became a Spy. Number 11 is How to Stop Time. Okay, Number 12 is Howl's Moving Castle. Number 13 is Heidi. Number 14 is How to Survive the Titanic. Number 15 is Harriet Said. Number 16 is Hitty, Her First 100 Years. Number 17 is Hourglass. Number 18 is Heart of a Samurai. Number 19 is Heartbeat. Number 20 is Hoot. And number 21 is Hattie Big Sky. I almost forgot to record that one. All right, ready? Number 13. Okay, what is 13? Heidi. Ooh, I'm excited. Okay, so Heidi is by Joanna Spyri. I think that's how her name is said. I could be completely wrong. It is a children's classic, and it is about an orphan named Heidi who gets taken to, I believe it's her grandfather. Yes, her grandfather, up a mountain in the middle of nowhere. He's gruff and grumpy looking, and she's just a little girl, and the story is about them and their relationship that develops. I'm excited to read it. Okay. Number 1, I Must Betray You. Number 2, I Want to Know We're Still Here. Number 3, I Was Anastasia. Kind of hoping for that one. Number 4, If I Run. Number 5, In Darkling Woods. Number 6, In Falling Snow. Number 7, Inherit the Wind. Number 8, Ink Heart. Number 9, Inside the Victorian Home. Number 10, Into the Firestorm. Number 11, Into the Wild. Number 12, Into Thin Air. Number 13, Arena's Children. Number 14, Iris and the Tiger. Number 15, Island of the Blue Dolphins. Number 16, It's Not Supposed to Be This Way. Number 17, I Am Number 4. Number 18, I Capture the Castle. Number 19, If I Stay. And number 20, I Am Malala. And 21 is Icons. Okay. This is like opening a present. Number 5. I don't know why it bothers me that I've already had that number twice, but it does. I'm gonna leave it. It's gonna be okay. I can't control everything, guys. Okay, number 5 is In Darkling Woods. I vaguely remember what this one is, but I'm gonna have to look it up. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay, I remember, I think I was shopping on Book Outlet when I found this, and I loved the cover because, guys, look at it. It's beautiful. Okay? So yeah. Pretty much just a cover, not really a cover buy because I haven't bought it yet, but a cover want to read. Is that a thing? I think so. Okay. So this is a middle grade fantasy, and it is by Emma Carroll. And I'm just going to read a little bit of the blurb. You're telling me there are fairies in this wood? When Alice's brother gets a longed for chance for a heart transplant, Alice is suddenly bundled off to her estranged grandmother's house. There's nothing good about staying with Nell except for the beautiful darkling wood at the end of her garden. Sounds really good. I'm excited. Okay, J. Number 1 is Jane Eyre. Number 2 is Jocelyn Wishing. Number 3 is Journey of the Pale Bear. Number 4 is Julie of the Wolves. Number 5 is Just Sayin'. Number 6 is Just Under the Clouds. Number 7 is James and the Giant Peach. Number 8 is Jurassic Park. Number 9 is Genie. Number 10 is Jacob Have I Loved. Number 11 is Just So Stories. Number 12 is Jellicoe Road. Number 13 is Jacoby. Number 14 is Journey to the Center of the Earth. 15 is Jane, the Fox, and Me. 16 is Jude the Obscure. 17 is Jinx. 18 is Junonia. 19 is Jack and Jill. 20 is Jonathan Livingston Seagull. And 21 is Judy Garland. Okay. 19. Okay. What is number 19? Jack and Jill. I'm not sure what this one is. So let me go. Let's see. Oh, okay. Ooh, okay. Cool. All right, so Jack and Jill is by Louisa May Alcott. So it's a classic. And I don't think it's one of her well-known ones. I know I haven't heard of it. Okay, so when best friends Jack and Jill tumble off their sled, their injuries cause them to be bedridden for many months. Their parents fill their days with the joys of Christmas preparations, a theatrical production, and many other imaginative events. Sounds really good. Cool. I'm excited about that one. Okay, K. Let me just warn you, if you decide to do this challenge, K is really hard. I don't know why, but it is. That is if you choose to be a book dragon like me and not use the articles. If you use A, An, and The, then you could probably find some stuff. Number 1, Keeper of the Lost City. Number 2, Kidnapped. Number 3, Kiki Kalara Breaks a Kingdom. Number 4, Killer Content. Number 5, Killers of the Flower Moon. Number 6, Kindred. Number 7, King of the Wind. Number 8, Kira Kira. Number 9, Keeper. Number 10, Clara and the Sun. Number 11, this is a classic. Okay, keep the pedestra flying. I'm probably wrong. Number 12 is Kim. Number 13 is Korean Folktales. Number 14 is King Solomon's Mines. Number 15 is Kitchen. Number 16 is Casper. Number 17 is Kensuke's Kingdom. Number 18 is Kimchi and Calamari. Number 19 is Kenny and the Dragon. Number 20 is Keep Going. And number 21 is Catterskill Falls, or Catterskill Falls. Not sure. Okay. Okie dokie, here we go. Number 11. Okay, so number 11. Haha. This is the one I couldn't pronounce. Okay. Keep the aspidistra flying. Okay. Handy dandy Google here. Oh, you couldn't hear that.
Aspidistra.
Aspidistra. Okay. Now I have to know what that means. It's a plant. Okay. So let me find that book so I can read you who it is by. Okay, so Keep the Aspidistra Flying is by George Orwell. It is a classic about a man who is an author, and his poetry didn't go well when he published it, and so he decides to work in a bookshop, making less than he usually makes. We'll see if it's any good. Okay. L. I don't know why I have my phone, because I don't need it right now. All right, L. So number 1 is Learning to Walk in the Dark. Number 2 is Linton Lands. Number 3 is Letters of a Woman Homesteader. Number 4 is Leviathan Wakes. Number 5 is A Life of Pi. Number 6 is Lilith. Number 7 is Listen Slowly. Number 8 is Listening for Lions. Number 9 is Little Women. Number 10 is Living with Viola. Number 11 is Long Walk to Freedom. Number 12 is Love is the Answer, God is the Cure. Number 13 is Love, Tears, and Autism. Number 14 is Lucky Broken Girl. Number 15 is Lady Clementine. Number 16 is Letters to the Lost. Number 17 is Levels of Life. Number 18 is Lilac Girls. Number 19 is The Lily and the Octopus. Number 20 is Little Bee. And number 21 is London Calling. Okay. All right, here we go. Number 11, which is actually what I got on K. I don't know why that bothers me, because it is still random, but getting the same number twice in a row bothers me. Okay, number 11 is A Long Walk to Freedom. Or not A Long Walk to Freedom, because I am not using articles. It is Long Walk to Freedom. So let me see about that one. Oh, okay. All right. I can get with that. Okay, so this is Long Walk to Freedom by Nelson Mandela. It is his autobiography, I believe. Yes, autobiography. So I've always been very interested in South African history. I have a friend from South Africa, so I've learned a little bit about the cultural climate there, and so I'm interested to read his autobiography. Okay, so this is the last letter for this video. M. All right, number 1 is Magic for Marigold. Number 2 is Magonia. Number 3 is Mark of the Raven. Number 4 is Maybe. Number 5 is Matilda. Number 6 is Memories of Glass. Number 7 is Mere Christianity. Number 8 is Mind Games. Number 9 is Miracles on Maple Hill. Number 10 is Molo Kai. I wish I knew other languages. Number 11 is Momo. Number 12 is Monstrous. Number 13 is Moo. Number 14 is Moon Bear. Number 15 is More Than a Carpenter. Number 16 is Mrs. England. Number 17 is Mrs. Dalloway. Number 18 is Murder at the Vicarage. Number 19 is My Grandmother Asked Me to Tell You She's Sorry. Number 20 is My Side of the Mountain. And number 21 is Mythopedia. Okay. I'm excited. Let's see. Okay. Number 4. Okay, number 4 is Maybe. I'm excited about that. Oh, that's going to be a good one. Okay, so I got this recommendation from Chantel. Maybe is I think it's middle grade. Let me check. Yes, middle grade. It's in free verse, and it is by Carolyn Starr Rose. It says, I've known it since last night. It's been too long to expect them to return. Something's happened. May is helping out on a neighbor's Kansas Prairie homestead just until Christmas, says Paul. She wants to contribute, but it's hard to be separated from her family by 15 long, unfamiliar miles. I don't want to read anymore. I want to learn about it as I go. I'm super excited. I love free verse. Okay, so that will end part 1 of my 2022 Goodreads Alphabet Reading Challenge video. This is A through M. The next one's going to be N through Z. And yeah, I'm excited. Like I said, I've been working on this for so long, and it's fun to just finally get to pick the books. I will buy them eventually. Yeah, so if you stuck around this long, I am proud of you, and I am happy because I know that if you stuck around this long, you're probably going to join in along with me on this challenge. I'm excited. Please post a comment with an emojis telling me whether you're going to be a bookworm, a book nerd, or a book dragon on this challenge. Like and subscribe, and I will see you soon in the next video.